Hello students, in today's lecture we will understand the formation of Newton's ring, how Newton's ring are formed. First, let us understand the laboratory setup of the apparatus. For experimenting with Newton ring experiment, we take a plano-convex lens of large focal length which has been kept on a plain glass plate. Now you can put it A, O, B. On this plano-convex lens, we take a monochromatic source of light and we let light fall on this plano-convex lens at an angle from a plain glass plate which has been inclined at an angle of 45 degree. So here is my monochromatic source of light. From this rays of light will come, so I will put a convex lens so that I get nice focused rays which are made to fall on a plain glass plate which has been kept at an angle of 45 degree from the horizontal. Purposely we keep it at 45 degree so that from the principle of reversibility, these rays will fall perpendicular to the plano-convex lens, and after falling perpendicular, they will retrace their path. So the necessary conditions for fringe pattern to occur are monochromatic source of light, coherent sources, and now lastly path difference between these rays. How are we going to get the path difference between these rays? See, one set of rays has come and dropped on this plain glass plate and they have just got, you can show like this, directly transmitted, and few have dropped on the plano-convex lens, retraced their path, and then they are going up. Here we have placed a simple microscope where the interference occurs due to these rays coming, and because of which our eye is here, we are able to see nice circular fringes here. Circular fringes are observed here. This plain glass plate is kept at an angle of 45 degree from the horizontal. If this is not inclined at 45 degree, the rays are not going to retrace their path. Now, how does the fringe pattern observed in Newton ring experiment come as circular fringes? Let us have a closer look at the experimental setup. This plano-convex lens and plain glass plate are having an air film enclosed between them which is of wedge shape or thin film of increasing thickness, and the center here, the thin film of increasing thickness is there here. Both the sides we are having thin films that are of increasing thickness due to the wedge shape air film. The center here, T is equal to 0. So path difference 2 mu t cos r, if you put t equal to 0, it becomes the condition of minima and the center is dark. But at times when you perform the experiment in the lab, you find that the center is not dark. This can happen due to the presence of dust particle coming here, and when a dust particle comes here, you cannot put t equal to 0. That dust particle will be carrying some thickness, maybe in microns. So then it is not the case of minima and center is not dark. Now with this minima here, t equal to 0, t equal to 1, t equal to 2, t equal to 3, t equal to 4, we get concentric circular fringes formed in this experimental setup. This is a very unique experiment where we are finding that the fringe pattern is coming in a circular manner. Now let us derive an expression for path difference for the same. Let us begin. See, incident ray which will come on this plano-convex lens here, it will get divided. One ray will go from here, and this plano-convex lens, it gets incident from the upper and lower surface of the lens, and it gets divided to form a fringe pattern. Effective path difference that happens between the rays, we can show it in a more detailed diagram how the path difference happens in this experiment, because here for the first time we are observing a circular fringe pattern. So if we take a closer look at the plano-convex lens and the plain glass plate, a ray falls like this here. One path which it is traveling is, it is going from glass directly getting reflected in air. So this is glass to air. Next ray of light is coming here in this air and taking a different media and then getting reflected. So this is air to glass. Air to glass. The air to glass boundary which this ray is crossing. Now, because of the interference of these two rays, see, interference of these two rays, we will get a fringe pattern here, and these are the reflected rays. Means interference due to thin films in reflected light, and this is the wedge shape air film getting formed here. So what is the formula for a path difference of interference in thin films due to reflected light? Del is equal to 2 mu t cos r plus lambda by 2, or even minus lambda by 2 you can do. Now for normal incidence, normal means r equal to 0, and what is cos r, cos 0 equal to 1. This path difference becomes equal to 2 mu t plus lambda by 2. Now at point of contact t equal to 0, the effective path difference, if I put t equal to 0 here, then my path difference is lambda by 2, which is the condition of minima, and we get a dark spot. Quickly, constructive interference, it will be, path difference will be an even multiple of lambda by 2, and destructive interference, path difference will be an odd multiple of lambda by 2, which will give rise to my circular fringes. So for maxima or constructive interference, path difference is 2n lambda by 2, that is even. So in the reflected light case, 2 mu t plus why, where has the cos r gone? Cos 0 is equal to 1. So 2 mu t plus lambda by 2 is equal to n lambda. 2 mu t is equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, where n is 1, 2, 3, etc. And this is destructive interference or minima. It is 2 mu t plus lambda by 2 or minus is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. That is 2 mu t equal to n lambda. Now for a particular bright or dark ring, the thickness T of the thin film should be constant if we have to find out where the maxima will come and where the minima will come. Every fringe is the locus of points having constant thickness of air film that has been enclosed between the plain glass plate and plano-convex lens. The loci are concentric circles with center at point of contact, and fringes are formed due to equal thickness in the shape of concentric rings with point of contact of the film being the center of the rings. Thank you.